everybody. Today is a very special episode of the RXP Podcast. We do this every year, but this is with a little twist. But first, let me introduce all of our hosts today. For me, it's Tiffany. I'm hosting this episode, and I'm joined by my co-hosts, Alex.
That was a rough intro there, not gonna lie.
That's fine. Matt.
Hey, at least you didn't point it out.
And Yasser.
I thought it was pretty good.
Listen, I just want to get all our names out there. If you're tuning in, I'm assuming that you're a long-time listener, okay? This is the RXP Podcast where four working professionals come together to talk about the movies, shows, books, games, real-life experiences that we all love and enjoy and tell you what you should spend your time on. I just want to get our names out there, and then we can do the intro later, okay? Which I've now done. Now, I highlighted that this is a very special episode because we've twisted up. If you've been here before, we like to do a top 6 set of experience episodes around the end of the year. Or top 4, but this year...
Top 6, top 4, top 3?
Top 3. This year, since it's the whole gang, we're splitting it up because we could not be contained. Today's episode is top 3 experiences of 2025 that are not movies and that are not video games. Okay? So today's top 3 2025 for RXP Podcast is going to be everything else. We had to synthesize what we want to recommend to the world out there into 3 things. It was a challenge for all of us. I'm just going to say that. But I'm going to kick off the episode with my third highly recommended experiences 2025. Okay? Any objections?
Perfect. Go for it.
Okay, thanks. Listen, I've recovered from an illness, and so my energy is finally kind of coming out there, and I'm unhinged right now. So we're just going for it.
I love it.
Okay, it's the beginning of December, chilly season, but we're recording these episodes. Okay, so here we go. My third most recommended experience for 2025 is the Netflix show The Residence.
Wow. Ooh, nice.
Yes. So I was thinking back about what, now that we only get 3 options here, I really need to pinpoint what I think people should spend their time on. There is a little bit of caveat, or it might be a boon to some people. The Residence was not renewed by Netflix. However, we got a nice little mystery in the White House. The whole story's contained in that one season. Okay, we get 1 season of goodness. If you're looking for a little bit of a murder mystery, if you watch the Knives Out film, Dead Man Walking or No Dead Man or whatever that movie is, and you want another little mystery snack, I think The Residence is a great pick. Comments or questions?
I have seen the trailer a bunch of times. And I know you've been recommending it almost all year, and I have not clicked it. But this makes me want to. This is having almost this is my seal of approval. This is my top 3 experiences of the year. I try my hardest to try to experience these things that you guys talk about, because I feel like this should be in my wheelhouse. When I talk about movies and TV shows and books even that I really enjoy, mystery whodunits is right up there for me. So.
Yes.
I feel like I gotta check it out.
I think
it almost sounded a little like the humor felt maybe a little campy, which is maybe my biggest holdup with it.
Oh, okay. I don't want that to hold you back. Oh no, wait. What's your vibe check on Only Murders in the Building?
No, you know what? I'm gonna have to tell you something.
You've never seen it? It's okay, because I was gonna say that Only Murders.
Speak up for the listeners in the back.
Sorry, my video came out cut out. What?
The Only Murders is too comedy leaning compared to what The Residence is. So I feel like it might be a nice meet in the middle. It's only 8 episodes. Interesting cast of characters. I think it's a good time. And if I had to pluck a murder mystery out that's a non-movie or game, out this year, I would definitely say this is the one to go. This is the
Interesting.
one
Love
to
that.
see.
I actually
Yes.
totally forgot that you brought this up before. I was like, oh, I've never
Yeah.
even heard about this. And then I go to Google it, and it's like, hey, you searched this 7 months ago. Like, oh yeah,
Thanks, Google.
that's right. This is all coming back to me now.
Whoa. Okay, first of all, I did not know about that feature on Google, and I kind of love that. I need to pay more attention to that.
It was
Um,
technically Safari that was telling me, because I don't like go to Google. I just like type it into Safari when I search, and Safari's like, hey,
got it.
are you looking for this? Because you spelled residence wrong. But you searched it like this 7 months ago.
Okay.
So in reality, you've gotten dumber in the past 7 months.
Thanks, Safari.
Okay, well, yep, that's my little number 3.
let me
Yasser?
tell you, I gotta just jump right in because this
Okay.
kind of goes hand in hand.
Jump in then.
You know, when I'm talking about murder mysteries, there's something that Maddie and I love. We love reality TV shows. We love it. Big
okay.
Brother, Survivor. We love anything where it's
Singles
like a
Inferno.
competition based. In years past, one of my favorite experiences was the Squid Game Challenge. Season 2 came out.
Yes.
It's amazing. I decided not to put Squid Game Squid Game Challenge Season 2 on this. It's great though, if you really like reality TV. But the reality TV show that I'm going to tell you about is called The Traitors. Have you guys heard of this?
I've heard of it because they're basically playing like werewolf board game.
Let
what someone-
me tell you. Yes.
Tell me.
Yes.
Tell me,
yes,
tell me,
yes,
tell me.
Absolutely. So, the U.S. version of this, the first season, it had like nobodies and people that were from reality TV. So you had all these people that were professional gamers, right? You had people that won Survivor,
okay.
literally backstab people for a living with a bunch of normies, and it turned into a bloodbath. Like the normies stood no chance. And so what the U.S. did at season 2 was they made it only reality TV shows. So you bring back basically the best of their respective games, and then they play in this game where out of 20 house guests, 3 people are the traitors, and each night they murder someone in the building, basically
The house.
And
Okay.
at the end of each night before that, everybody kind of gets into a circle. They try to eliminate the traitor, and sometimes they get them. Most of the times they don't, and it causes a bunch of chaos. It's a bunch of backstabbing. It's fantastic. It's basically just like Secret Hitler or something very similar to
Yes.
that, where
sounds amazing.
just played out on a bigger stage with fantastic production value. The person that hosted is Alan Cumming.
I love him.
He's a very famous actor. You probably have seen him in a bunch of things. He was Boris in GoldenEye, like the Pierce Brosnan James Bond film. The guy that clicked the pen a bunch of times. Anyway,
He's also
very, very
Nightcrawler.
famous. Yes, he was Nightcrawler. He is fantastic. He's Scottish, and he plays into his Scottish role because
Scottish.
they're set in a Scottish castle
Castle?
right next to a lock. Like it is a beautiful set design, perfect, like setting and aesthetic, just this beautiful mansion. And it's great. It's really, really fun. We found out about Traitors when season 3 hit, and it actually hit the very beginning of this year. So it's been one of my favorite things all year, and I watched it literally in January. We watched the newest season, and then we went back and watched all the older seasons. We watched the UK version. There's an Australian version. Like there is so much out there. It is easily my favorite reality TV show because it plays into that murder mystery that you're talking about. Like everything that I loved playing as a kid, being on the schoolyard playing Secret Hitler and like seeing that played out on the big screen. That's really well produced. It's great. Really, really great. If you guys know, Dylan Efron, who's Zac Efron's brother, he
Yes.
was on Dancing with the Stars. The reason why he was on Dancing with the Stars is because he played in the most recent season of The Traitors. And he did really well. So definitely check it out. It is really, really fun. Even if you don't know, like I didn't know all of the reality TV stars that were on there because there's like Real Housewives that I'm not super into. It doesn't matter. Like usually the people that are on reality TV shows have just huge personalities. Put them all in a castle, make 3 of them murderers. it's going to be a great time. Fantastic experience. Would highly recommend.
What streaming platform did you watch it on? Like, where can we find this?
It's on Peacock. So
Ooh,
I know a lot of
okay.
people don't have Peacock, but they have all the it's actually a pretty cheap streaming service. So if you buy a month, you could probably get through all the seasons. Season 4 is about to drop, I think, in January of this year. So it's a great time to do it. And I think I even saw that their subscription was being sold for pretty cheap, like in the holiday season. So definitely worth at least a month. You'll get really quality TV from it. Promise.
Okay. I mean, there's also the Peacock sometimes does the episode drop weekly? Or is it binge television?
It does. I don't quote me on that, because when we watched it, we were kind of a little bit behind. I think it is weekly though.
Okay. Because
I'm looking at the wiki, and season 1 released all at once, basically, with the last episode being a month later. But then other ones, they would release like 3 or 4 at a time, and then they'd release one per week. So it seems like it kind of comes and goes.
Okay.
Man, chaotic.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Because I know, like, sometimes Peacock does a thing where it's like, oh, the most recent episode you can watch, for free, and then like it goes behind the paywall. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
I don't
after
know
a
about
week
that.
or something.
It's
Okay.
great. Fantastic. Highly recommend.
It sounds interesting. I've heard about it, and I was like, oh, that might be fun.
It
If
does
you
sound
like
very
those
interesting.
types of board games, it is just basically watching it play out in real life. It is just really fun. Nothing quite like it.
Okay.
I will say I'll
Sweet.
have like literally no background on any of these because I don't watch any reality TV, but
Yeah.
like the concept itself sounds fun, where I feel like I'd be willing to give it a whirl.
And honestly, you might even try to watch the UK version. The UK version is maybe
Oh.
even more popular, but it's all normies. So they didn't have any reality TV stars. And honestly,
Gotcha.
they probably should have stuck with that, because you just can't mix them. Like, the people that have won these shows just have a like fantastic strategy mind. And
Yeah.
you need
Just
like
tenacity.
the farmer, the baker, the teacher, like, gunning it out. You always
Yeah.
like get that one like undercover cop that they bring in every season. There's always one. He's like, yeah, I'm a detective or something. And usually they rack it up, but everybody else is complete normies.
So did you just come up on this series this year, or had you been watching it previous years at all?
So what happened was, some of my favorite Big Brother house guests actually got invited to season 3. And so I heard about
Okay.
it from just hearing about them getting started on it. Like, these are people that, one, he is an undercover cop. Like, that's why he won Big Brother. But I was like, oh, what is this? And we looked into it, just watched a couple episodes, and we just got hooked. So
You have to tell Cody about
definitely-
this then, and Gerald.
Oh, he knows. He knows all about it. Him and I were talking about it.
Of course he does.
Love it. Alex, tell me about your number 3 experience.
All right, this is going to come at a surprise for everyone, including you, Tiffany, because this is something that's not on anyone's radar in terms of something that I would have been into,
Wow.
and that is the HBO Max show, The Pit.
Oh.
Ooh.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
It'd be more likely that one of us would have picked
That
that,
i-
but no,
I
it's
know.
Alex.
I'm shocked because I'm shocked. Alex, please explain.
Yeah, so this is a show that follows the basically the healthcare professionals that work in the ED or emergency department in a Pittsburgh hospital. It stars Noah Weil, who was famously present in the older medical drama ER, 20 some years ago. And so basically this follows the this group of employees working in the ED over within a basically day shift. So starting at, I believe it was like 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. or
7 a.m.
something. 7 a.m.
7
going to 9 p.m. being the final episode. And so you follow the journey of this ED and kind of all the patients they see and the issues that come up, right? the types of illnesses and afflictions of the patients that get admitted into the ED. And really, Tiffany was the one that started watching this, but because I'm in the room at the same time, I just happened to watch it along with her. And honestly, for me, whenever I think about a top experience that I try to bring to these lists, it's mostly going to be things where it's not necessarily something that I'm typically expecting to get to in a year, but it's the things that really stick with me after the fact. And so, right, I had no idea about the show prior to Tiffany starting to watch it, right? Like, I didn't know it existed. We recently subscribed to HBO Max, so we're like, okay, what's on there? This was something that she was aware of, so she started watching it, and I'm like, why not watch it too? And, me not being a healthcare professional, right, as Yasser was alluding to, where it's kind of interesting that I'm the one to bring this up and put it on my list as opposed to any of you three. It really took me by surprise, mostly because I think the 24-hour-esque storytelling, right, like you're following this story hour by hour within a single day, made the pacing just feel like basically very believable, right? Like, it's whenever I think about other stories and you're kind of following a journey of characters, realistically, when you think like, oh, if this story took place over like a week, a month, a year, right, there's probably some things with the characterization that don't come across, I guess, realistically in some cases, right? When you're like, oh, if a character has a change of heart, like, how is that possible if only a month has passed, right, from when the first episode started to maybe when the last episode runs? And so when I look at this and it's all kind of encapsulated within a single workday, it really feels like the acting comes through more viscerally of like, oh, these are just people like going about their like day-to-day lives, right? Like, this just happens to be one day in the life of these people like working the job, right, year in and year out. And so for me, kind of seeing this and honestly watching it with Tiffany helped because she was able to give me the kind of background info to say like, hey, that is realistic, or hey, that's not realistic. There's no way the student doctor would ever be ordering anything for any patient without referring to an attending first. And so like there are some discrepancies that maybe medically aren't 100% accurate. Like, don't take the pit as a like one-to-one verbatim, this is how an ED in any hospital functions. But even if I didn't have that clarification being made every so often saying that's unrealistic, I do think the show does a very good job, at least in kind of exposing like what goes on behind the scenes, right, and giving you kind of a realistic standpoint of like, hey, these are real people trying to make active determinations with like as much information as they have at the time, right? And so you're not always going to be 100% correct, but it is a very interesting thought process. See, hey, these are people that have to get through these patients like within time limits, right? It's like you can't take all day on one patient. You're seeing like 10, okay, 20, maybe 100, who knows, right? Depending upon what happens in a day. And so it's kind of, it helps put you in the mindset, and it helped reinforce my idea of like, I would never survive in a hospital setting. Just the amount of stress, the amount of, I guess, responsibility you have, especially with these people coming in an emergency department more so than anything, right? And being able to try and triage and get, the help that they need in a timely fashion. So for me, just overall, it's such a gripping show. And
yes,
especially they've done a great job in kind of incorporating the character development in between kind of the medical like issues, because I think that's one of those things where you think of a show that kind of falls too closely to a profession, it might skew one way or the other, where it's like, oh, it's a lot of like the people but not necessarily the job. And in this case, I think they did a great job in kind of weaving the people, like the personal stories, into the actual job narrative. And so it is one of those things where it's a more recent experience. We watched it within the past week, but it definitely kind of hit all. Yeah, it marked every box on my list of like great narrative. It's gonna sit with me for a while. I'm interested in watching season 2 when that premieres next year, early next year. And so I think it kind of has every little bit of sprinkling on there to say like, this is a recommendation. I'd say go check it out if you have HBO Max.
Guys,
shout out,
we watched this in
HBO
2
Max.
days. Like, I watched
2 days.
the entire in 2.
How many
it was literally
episodes?
Saturday. It's 15 episodes.
15.
So Listen, I treated it
Yikes.
like my full-time job, basically. You know what I mean? Like it was like 6 episodes on one day and like 9 the next day or something.
And these are 30-minute episodes, surely.
No, 1
Y'all
hour.
are crazy, bro.
Listen,
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was in it. I was gripped. It was very compelling
fair enough.
television. Okay.
Except when she
I'm
was
not-
yelling at the student doctors.
I do have to say that part of me, like you guys, literally, we watched it. I got the Black Friday deal for HBO, which was $3 a month for 12 months. So I was like, of course I'm gonna get it, and that means we literally like Thanksgiving weekend, like post Thanksgiving weekend. That was it. That Saturday and Sunday, we watched the entire season, and I was like, man, do I put that show on in my top 3? But then I was also like, oh, is this recency bias? You know, because it like just happened.
Yeah.
But honestly, like probably an honorable mention. So good on you, Alex. I'm so actually kind of thrilled that you really enjoyed it because you don't really care for much television or streaming shows. So like, I'm glad this one hit. I mean, it hit for me.
I really think the way they told the narrative, right? Like this all happened within a day. Like that was a really strong like backing to having hey, this is something that I really can get rid of maybe some other inhibitions I typically have with shows where it's like, that's not realistic, or it's like the expectations aren't there. Whereas like this, right, I had no background about it. And it's like, well, because it's within like it's a day in the life of it's like in a way you can also view it like a slice of life, right? It's like literally this is what they deal with, on any given day, that I can just take it as is, as at face value, and not have to worry about like, does that make sense? Will this carry
Yes.
forward? And maybe with season 2 I will, right, based on how they tried to incorporate things from season 1. But at least for now, everything that happened in season 1 was believable, and it was very much of an enjoy, and also just great acting across the board. Not
Yeah.
just the main attending, but across the whole cast.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard really great like rave reviews about this show, and it's definitely on the list for me. Shout out HBO Max. I think it's actually a great service. I think it's probably in my top 2 or top 3 services overall.
Mhm.
Question that I had was, did I understand correctly that you were saying the whole season was a singular day?
Yes, it was.
How
Yeah,
is
so it's
that
like-
15
it's like-
hours? Like, so are they
Oh.
shifting
So-
perspectives, or like how does that work?
So
Would we give away too much?
No, basically, I mean, come on, Yasser. Most nurses work 12-hour shifts. And
Yeah, no, but like it
we're
has to be
follow-
like thrilling content for 15 hours. So I'm trying to like understand,
Yes. So something significant happens basically in the 11th hour that forces people to stay over shift.
Mm.
Okay.
So
Got
then
it.
it's like all hands on deck, please, you know what I mean? Like it's just like,
I see.
like a significant, yeah. So then they were like, okay, and then near the last 2 episodes, they're like, okay, start handing off your patients, like wrap up what you need to do. You know what I mean? And then like
Interesting.
they're literally like saying that, and night shift comes in, or even some night shifters come in a little bit early because of the significant
Mhm.
event that happens.
Okay.
So it felt very like plausible.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
Very
It kind
interesting.
of reminds me. Did you guys ever watch 24, the Kiefer Sutherland show?
Yeah, I was kind
No,
of
but
thinking
that's
about
what
that
I,
when
like,
I
described it
asked that
as.
question of like, how is it a
Mhm.
singular day? It made me think of that show, even though I never watched
Yes.
it myself. My parents loved that show.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we were addicted to that growing up. Like when we had like a landline, we would like no one, like my sister's boyfriends like knew they couldn't call the house when 24 was on, because you watched it on Fox or not, like, or you waited
Yeah.
until it was on Netflix 6 months later. So you had to watch it when it came out. And the cool thing about it was it would go to commercial break, and maybe like it was a 24-hour period, which is why I think about the show. And so it had 24 episodes each season, and each episode was an hour. And so they accounted for like the commercial breaks, and they went
Yeah.
to the commercial breaks with a timer on to show you the real, like the real world clock. And it always coincided with yours. So if like it was 10 a.m. or like 10:53 in the morning in the show, but it comes on at 8 p.m. each night, it would be like 8:53. So you knew you had 7 more minutes in the show. Like,
That's
it
funny.
was so cool. Like, it kind of like drove you along. It kind of
Yeah,
had that
yeah.
pacing that you're talking about, Alex. One of my favorite shows growing up. So even if it has a glimpse of it, even if that's the only thing it has similar to it, I'm totally in. I will be honest, it kind of hit the hospital by storm. Everybody was talking about the pit.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I was just like, I don't know if I want more healthcare in my life, and so I've
That's
taken
fair.
a time to not watch it.
It's a lot of healthcare.
It's definitely so many people talk about it. So many people talk about it that I will have to watch it eventually. That's why I've taken so long, because I feel like when I come home, I'd rather do anything else, literally
Right.
anything else.
Oh,
But
no,
I will
yeah.
say, like I get the same sentiment too, but I feel like the overall sentiment is that it's really well made and that it's very like
Yes.
realistic to like what the everyday life is. Obviously, there's gonna be nitpicks like Tiffany is gonna have, and a lot of people are gonna have, but like in general, it's really well made.
Oh yeah, and like me not having the background, I don't think I mean, from the personal perspective, I probably would have issues with certain things, but then from the professional perspective, I'm like, I mean, it makes sense to me, you know, but not knowing the actual procedure, it's like, yes, a student doctor would not be ordering things for patients without being verified by someone above them, you know. It's like, oh, okay, I would imagine I personally, I would not be happy with that, right? Because I'm like, yes, you're a student doctor. Yes, you're training to become a fully licensed professional. But I'm like, do I really want your order, you know, without being double checked by someone else? You know, probably not. But then in this case, right, it does come up and it's like, well, sometimes they do make trouble with it. Like they do point out to be like, hey, you shouldn't be doing that. And in other cases, maybe that just goes by and you're like, well, I guess it is what it is. But right, it is realistic and plausible in that way where you're getting a story told that doesn't try to overly dramatize anything, right? It's like, oh yeah, these are things that can happen in any given hospital, right? It just this one happens to be in Pittsburgh, so.
Okay, Yasser, what do you got for number 3?
So I guess I'm gonna keep the TV show train going, and
Hell
it's
yeah.
also a show that did not. I think they have a new season that came out this year, but I didn't watch that one yet. And it's White Lotus. I think I brought this up earlier on in
Ooh,
the year. I
nice.
really liked season 1, and so season 1 specifically
Yes.
is going on the top 3 experiences because I really enjoyed
Love it.
that. I thought it
Whoa.
really surprised me how much I enjoyed it, and I'm still on the fence technically on season 2, but I do think I'm gonna end up watching that before the end of the year. I think the main reason why I haven't yet is because I'm still behind on my new shows to watch. That was one of them, but
Yes.
I need to watch more new shows, and so I've been kind of just putting this on the back burner so that I can try a few more. But loved White
Oh my
Lotus.
gosh. Yeah. Yasser, you know what I also did in the same weekend? I
And
watched
what I
all
also
of season
did?
1. Yeah, when Alex was there. Yasser, I watched all of White Lotus. Well, not in the same weekend. I think that one I took 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
But I did watch all of season 1. I watched
Only
all of
6
season
Okay,
episodes.
just season 1. Okay. Yeah, that's more reasonable. I thought you
Yes.
meant
Yes,
like you watched
6
all 3
episodes.
seasons
Let's clarify
somehow over
that.
a weekend.
No.
Honestly-
And I did watch the first episode of season 2.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I will say it does feel like a very bingeable show. Honestly, I can't speak to the others because I haven't watched those, but like
Yes.
this show, like you want to keep watching. So I could totally see how you could do that in a weekend, especially considering the number isn't crazy.
It's probably the best theme song of all time. Like,
Do you
The theme
think
Once
song
it goes
so?
is
like-
very good.
yeah, so good.
No.
Oh my
that's-
god.
It's kind of weird, you guys. Guys,
No,
it's
it's
kind of weird.
perfect.
That
What are
was
you
I think
talking
the
about?
unexpected.
combination of the theme song with like the intro title or like whatever you want to call like the
The art.
animation that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really good. I really enjoy it as well.
Oh my gosh, it's a
You
banger.
know what?
It is a banger.
Yasser, I'm not gonna lie. So I was like, I want to watch White Lotus. I want to watch White Lotus because, like, to me, like, I thought it was a murder thriller situation, but I struggled a little bit because everyone is so unlikable. You know,
Mhm.
Yeah,
It was-
so
almost like,
uh-huh.
oh, well, I hope that's the person who dies. So then I was like, what is this show making me feel?
But only one
That is
person
true.
dies. Darn it.
I think
But I did enjoy the character work.
Matt and I talked
that
about this a little
they
bit. I
had.
don't remember if it was in the pod or if it was separately from the pod. I do really struggle with shows that like where all the characters are unlikable. And from what I've heard from Matt and others, it does seem like the later seasons, it's like even a bigger concern or a bigger issue. To me, I
Oh
thought there was
no.
enough. There were enough characters from my perspective that I could still root for. They're not
Mm.
all assholes. Like for example, there was the married couple in season 1, and
Hmm.
yeah, the husband is a complete dick, but the wife isn't, and you can root for her, right? Or am I misremembering?
Yes.
So like
No.
there
You
are
can.
Well,
For
there's
the
two.
most part,
There's
for
two
the most
married
part.
couples.
yeah, the just married
The
couple,
newlyweds. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. So
Honeymooners.
that like that, there are just like characters here and there where it's like, yeah, I can root for them. Like the other lady that was the employee that was trying to start up her own business, like yeah, the way she was doing it maybe wasn't the best, but like you could still feel for her, like she's trying to like work for her family and make do. So there's enough good characters where I wanted to root for specific characters and I still thought it was enjoyable, but that is my main concern with the subsequent seasons is like, is it going to turn into Succession? I don't want it to be that.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay.
I love that show. I if I could go back in time and watch season 1 again with no memory of it, I would totally take it. Like
Yeah.
it was such a good experience. I
Yeah,
think it's still. I enjoyed season 2. I had never finished season 3. I didn't really care for it, to be honest. But I think season 1 is still the one that takes the gold for me. Like it's a really great season.
And to your point, I am kind of curious like how it would be on a rewatch too, because I would assume like I would want to like rewatch it without that knowledge too. How was it rewatching it, Tiffany? And it sounds like Alex was there too. Like how was it in the rewatch?
So it actually wasn't a rewatch. It was my first watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yasser, I was
didn't realize
like,
that.
I want to watch. Yeah. I was like,
yes,
oh man,
this
I
is
really
coming
want to
back
watch
to me
White
now.
Lotus.
I literally asked
Yeah.
you like after the first season, it's like, does it keep getting better? You're like, I haven't seen it yet. You just have brought it up so many times. That's right.
That's
Check
so
your
true.
search history from 7 months ago. You'll probably see it.
Yeah, it's like, why has Tiffany not started this year?
Yeah. But I mean, so far I do like the idea of visiting different locales though. So like seeing the resort in Italy and hearing Italian, like that's pretty cool so far. And you know,
Oh.
this
That's
was
where
all
season 2
sprung
is?
from
Yeah.
season 2 is in Italy
Okay.
and then season 3 is in Thailand.
Mhm.
And then apparently season 4 is going to be in France. So,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, Alex was quite taken with Jennifer Coolidge. So, he was definitely trying to root for her.
Oh yeah, she was
What
the
do you mean by
highlight
quite
of the
taken?
season.
What are we saying here?
No,
I've-
her acting.
the way her
Okay.
acting is and like her character, it's always very mesmerizing in terms of like how does this exist like in this world, like this character and like their journey kind of feels like separate to like everyone else's. Because
Yeah.
when I like look at the show, I like, not to downplay anything, I'm significantly like lower on this than all three of you in terms of like my perception of it. And I guess it's
Sure.
mostly because it's the way they demonstrate the mystery, right? Because I guess it's not really right. It's a mystery where I guess you, the viewer, are trying to determine, what might be the final outcome, but it's not necessarily the goal of anyone like within the show, right? Like it's the mystery
Right.
component is external to the actual content of the season. And so for me, I'm kind of like, well, I can see, obviously people aren't likable. I think that's part of it. So it's like, oh, anyone, right? Like literally any of these characters could get the,
Marked.
could get the unfaithful ending to their story. And so in terms of like, oh, is this going to be the moment, right? And obviously it wouldn't be something that's revealed until the end. But I kind of felt like the story in that way then meandered a lot because it wasn't like kind of pushing you, right? In terms of, it felt like obviously it was more of a flashback sort of thing where they kind of showed you the ending, right? Like right past the reveal, and then it runs through the show and catches you back up to the beginning again. And so for me, it felt like it was a show to watch, and definitely more of a show for me to like, oh, this is a background show. Like, I was not enraptured in watching White Lotus season 1 like I was The Pit, right, with Tiffany running in the background. I felt
Sure.
more like I could occasionally peek over. I'm like, oh, this is what those two are doing. Oh, this is what the sister and friend have to deal with now. Oh, this is what the hotel manager has to do. And so because of that, that's where I'm like, I wasn't as engrossed, but I wouldn't say it wasn't a good show. It was just not my style of, like, if I wanted a kind of murder mystery type of thing, it does lean more
So
closer to
I think
Knives Out.
I think that's where I would kind of caution people too, because to me, I don't think this is a murder mystery show, to be quite frank
Right.
with you. Like, you get that like intro to the ending on the first episode, but then the rest of it is just explaining what led up to it. And to me, I enjoyed it more so as just like a pure comedy. And just enjoying it, the show like that, and just seeing what happened. And not really like, yeah, it was in the back of my head, like, oh, is this when it's gonna happen? Is this when it's gonna happen? But it wasn't really the primary incentive for me to figure out who did it or what's gonna happen. It was more so just I thought the day-to-day, episode-to-episode happenings were so funny that I enjoyed it. So to me, I would recommend it more for people that are just looking for something funny to watch rather than like a murder mystery. Because to me, this isn't like Knives Out, which you explained very well.
Yes. Now, listen, I'll let you know how I feel about season 2, Yasser. If Matt's recommendation is not as
And guess
No,
who's
no,
back?
I will be
Jennifer
watching season 2 for
Coolidge.
sure as well. Is she really?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. But it's like a different character, same character.
Same character.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Tanya McQuad.
Plot development.
Okay, so now we're shifting gears to a number 2 most recommended experience of this year. Alex, give me your number 2.
Oh man, I'm going first and number 2.
Oh,
All right.
whoa.
Yes, I'm
Again,
mixing it up.
Jacob.
Again, something that none of y'all would ever expect me to bring up
Oh my.
in these top
White Lotus.
experiences.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's like, I was joking.
yeah.
Yeah, I've actually already watched seasons 2 and season 3, and it's actually season 3 now. My number 2 experience of the year, non-gaming, non-movie, is the play Harry Potter and the Cursed Child.
Ooh.
Really?
Oh,
Love
okay,
it.
okay.
So this is something that Tiffany and we went to DC. We watched this over the summer. It was actually near my birthday. We watched this, at the theater. And honestly, this is coming from someone that I'm not particularly engaged with Harry Potter. I read the first 5 books. I watched all the movies. That's kind of the extent. When the reboot TV show comes out, I may or may not watch it. I'm not necessarily anticipating it, but I'm kind of that, like, I'm aware of the world, of the characters, and I remember them, on the second hand. But rather, it's more so I'm not necessarily going out and looking for, I want more, Wizarding World content. That's not something I necessarily seek out. But, hearing that there was kind of a, not necessarily sequel, but kind of follow-up story to Harry Potter, right, with the Cursed Child being this kind of like, this is what happens after what happens at Hogwarts for Harry and Hermione and Ron, that it was interesting to watch this and more so just be impressed by the way they were able to tell a story, right? Obviously, I know that Rowling was still involved in this, but at least as a play, I felt like it was just as strong, if not stronger, than any of the movies in terms of relaying a Wizarding World story. And especially as a play, just the visual effects they're able to do with the lighting and stage transitions was very interesting, and also pretty unique in terms of the plays that I've seen, growing up, and that being only like 6 or 7 at this point, but still amongst that, it being one of the more memorable plays on stage. And so for me, it was just it was how impressive the story was, and also a lot of it was on the part of the actors. I do think the traveling actors, or at least the actors that performed at the DC show, were amazing. I don't remember any of their names offhand, so I can't shout anyone out. But if you watched Harry Potter and the Cursed Child at the National Theater in DC this summer, then you can look up that playbill and see the casting list there. And honestly, I think those actors more than anyone kind of made it a memorable event for me, because it's the energy, it's the kind of being engrossed in the role, but it's also kind of making it your own, right? Because obviously when you have characters like these that have been done, especially visually, over a course of 8 movie plus, right, with a known cast, it's kind of hard to then, I guess, assume these roles but still kind of make it your own, as opposed to trying to replicate like what those other actors did with those roles. And so for me, just kind of like seeing these grown-up versions of the main trio, and obviously all the new characters that were added in terms of their kids, from all the various different relationships, it was just such a great time. And I found myself laughing a lot more than I thought I would, because typically, I mean, Harry Potter doesn't have that many like laughing moments. I would say like it's kind of semi-serious. Like obviously there are some joking characters such as the Weasley brothers and stuff, but besides that, it tries to tell a serious story. But the way the actors portrayed these new characters and the way it was all presented on screen was just such a delight. And really it is another one of those things where I'm like, I did not expect to come out of that theater like having that experience and then remembering it so vividly, and then kind of carrying forward to the end of the year more so than anything else. And so really this is where The Cursed Child kind of takes the number 2 spot for me.
Very nice. Yeah, wait, so who else has seen this? Tiffany, you were there, I assume. Matt, have you seen it?
Yes, and this is my second time seeing The Cursed Child.
Very nice. And Matt?
Yes.
I have not seen it. I have the playwright because they released as a book. When they,
Oh my God.
Before all these productions.
Did you read that?
I've read it. I remember going
it's
like
not
this.
good.
This
It's not
doesn't work. Like
yes.
Yeah.
I don't remember much else about it, to be honest. Like I could not tell you a spoiler if I tried.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if I purged it from my mind. I think it's on the shelf behind me. Like it's here. I could reread it, but it just didn't work. Like it's like anything. Like if you have a script is going to play so much differently than what you're going to be seeing on the stage. As a theater kid myself, like I this makes me really want to go out and find a way to watch this, because there is something about the stage that I prefer even over a good movie. Like the way that a background actor has to be on during a stage production and like how they add like visually representing something completely physically with no CGI is something that I always find very magical on the stage. So this definitely makes me want to check it out.
Totally.
I do have to say... Oh,
go ahead, Tiffany.
Well, I was just going to say that I also read or bought the book, the screenplay, and I read it and I did not care for it. But then when the show first came over to the States, that summer I went to New York to see it back when it was 2 parts. Like it was the actual, like, you paid for 2 plays because it was so long. And then you had like you go to the theater, you saw like a 2.5-hour play with an intermission, and then you basically left and came back like 2 hours later to do the second play that was like another 2.5 hours or whatever.
Oh.
And for the
and this is the revised edition. So this was one play, they pared it down.
Yeah, so apparently a couple years after that, they ended up paring it down and making it one play that might, that was like maybe like 2 hours and 45 minutes or something with an intermission. So ultimately, I think I was so surprised the first time I saw it, how it was so much better than the screenplay, that I was like, I need to see this again. So that's why when they came to DC, I was like, I need to see this. And which actually makes me really happy is that originally Alex was not interested in seeing the play. Like originally when I heard that they were coming, Alex was like, it's kind of whatever. But then, like, when we were getting down to buying the tickets, Alex like, no, count me in. And so one thing I do want to shout out is that Tom Felton is actually playing Draco Malfoy in the New York Broadway play right now.
Okay.
He started, what was it, like maybe like middle of November. So I don't know how many weeks he's going to be there, but he's literally playing older Draco. And I was like, do I go to New York to see him like on stage? Very tempting. But I think tickets are actually getting like really expensive now too, because it might be like semi sold out because he's playing Draco again. But honestly, you guys, if you can see it, I also like two thumbs up. I highly recommend.
Love it.
Yeah, you and Matt definitely make some really good points because I've seen it in New York and I saw it like you were saying after that 2-year period where they combined it into one experience rather than you had to leave and come back. Um, I never read the screenplay, but I heard about it. And honestly, after viewing it, I also would agree that the writing and the story itself really is not that like particularly great. I didn't find myself like, "Oh wow, I'm really glad that I like learned this story of the Harry Potter world." But I also think it was still a great experience because like you all have kind of been explaining, like seeing it on stage and how they did it, I thought was an amazing experience. Like some of those like magical elements that you would expect would be hard to translate into a play that you saw in the movies done so well. They actually did it really well on stage where you would have those like moments like, whoa, how'd they do that? That's pretty cool. And so it was a
Yeah.
really great experience. And I think anyone who loves Harry Potter, it's like an easy recommendation. If you don't, I mean, look at Alex. Like he just likes it peripherally and he still really enjoyed it too. So I think that really speaks to how well made the play is. So I think that's a great recommendation and I really would recommend it as well. It sounds like me, Tiffany, and Alex are all on board. So Matt, you just gotta watch it.
Absolutely.
By
Gotta
the
get
way.
on it.
Go see Tom on Broadway, Matt.
Ooh, don't tempt me with a good time.
Yeah. I can go next with my number 2 because mine's actually kind of tangentially related in a way. So my number 2 recommended experience is a book that took my world by storm in September, and that book is Alchemized.
Wow.
And so
I was expecting this to be number 1.
Yeah.
No. I was also like thinking back of all the books that I've read this year. I've read so many. Like I think I hit over 100 books.
Sheesh.
But this one,
That's wild.
this book really shook me to my core, made me think like things that I hadn't thought about in a while. Just a lot of like introspective thinking, the characters. I laughed, I cried, I had a lot of anxiety about what was happening in this book, and I was like very much, it was to the point that I was reading and listening to the book because basically I needed to ingest it as fast as possible. So I recommend it. So I can't remember if I mentioned this last time, but Alchemized was actually based off of a Harry Potter fanfic. So like,
Oh, really?
the initial premise was a fan fiction story. And so the author just had to she ripped away all the Harry Potter elements to make her own like new world that would not infringe on any Harry Potter IP. And honestly, I've not read or finished the Harry Potter fanfic version, but this book stands alone and I think is better for it, honestly, because the themes of this book I think are stronger than, the stuff that she took from the Wizarding world. So highly recommend. I mean, it is a commitment. It's a very big commitment. So I kind of almost have a little bit of a caveat with this one since the story is 1,000 pages long. But the audiobook is also like absolutely phenomenal. Like I love it.
And remind me, is this just one book so far? Are there going to be more books?
Yes. No books. It's one book. And that's another reason why I'm like really into it, Yasser. It's literally, could have divided it into like a duology or a trilogy or whatever.
Sure.
But she was like, I couldn't figure out a way to like split it and it'd be, not like enraging, I guess. So she has one book and it's split into 3 parts in the book. Kind of like the Hunger Games books. They're just like part 1, part 2, part 3, or whatever. So there's that. But I really recommend it, and I actually hope so. They sold the movie rights for this. I hope these movies actually get made. Like I'm like very curious on a potential adaptation, but who knows?
Yeah, they bought the rights for like millions of dollars. So I'm assuming they're gonna do something.
A lot of people have
with that.
purchased this book, so yeah, I feel like it seems like an obvious decision, as long as they can get the right people on board.
Yeah.
Do you know who's purchased this book? Me.
Oh,
I have purchased this book.
That's a rhetorical question.
I actually borrowed it from the library.
Yeah.
The audiobook became available, so I borrowed it. And then we were out and about. We went to Barnes & Noble. I was looking at the Criterion Collection movie. It's 50% off right now. It's a great deal. I didn't buy anything, but I still like to look and kind of tease about getting a 4K player, even though I need probably a 4K TV, like a better TV to really get the most out of it. Anyway, so I was at Barnes & Noble basically for not books. But then we were looking and we, just like some random people walked up to us, recommended a book. We ended up, let's grab that book. Saw this in the corner of my eye. They have like this where it's basically like art, like a special art for Barnes & Noble. Like they have like a special edition of it. The thing's huge. It's like 1,000 pages, right? Like this is almost an encyclopedia. And the art looks great. It just looked really fun. And I was like, you know what? This is probably going to be Tiffany's like top recommendation. So I should just buy it and get started on it, because I try, like if someone gives a really high recommendation, I try to do something about it, right? And so bought
I'm
it,
honored.
started it, and it's great. Like it's
Oh my
really
gosh.
fun. I'm not super far into it because I literally just got it because we were walking around like right after Black Friday. It was like this weekend. Started it. It's going to take me probably 3 years to finish it, but
It's okay.
In 3 years,
epic journey.
it might be on my
It might be a movie.
list.
It might be the movie. You know what I mean?
It might be a
In
movie. But I am very much looking forward to reading more of it. I'm on my way on a work trip to Vegas soon. If it
There's
wasn't
no way.
basically my own personal item, I would take
Yeah,
it. But
yeah,
alas,
Matt, I was like,
I can't do that.
Do not
Yeah.
tell me that you're bringing it to like your trip.
No. It's too big. But I wish I could, because I almost wish I didn't start it, because now I'm going to have to take like almost a week off from it. So, we'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, I'm very excited about it.
I'm thrilled. Wait, do you know, like, are you like 40 pages
Right at
in?
the beginning.
Right at the
I'm
beginning.
I'm still trying to figure out what's actually happening.
Right.
Yeah.
If
So.
you want to live text me your questions or reactions, I would live
Okay.
for that, honestly.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, please. And I won't spoil
You're-
anything. I promise.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Sounds perfect to me.
And even if it takes you 6 years, I'm here for it. Like,
Yeah.
don't worry.
2032, I'm like, so
It's my
about
number.
this second chapter.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, do you want to share your number 2 experience then, Matt?
Yeah. So this is not going to be a surprise to anybody because we've already talked about it, but I can't be genuine. I honestly wanted to take it off my list because we've already talked about it in great detail, but I can't be genuine about my top experiences without talking about potentially one of my favorite TV shows of all time, which is Severance. Severance season 2 came out. It was something where this is a recommendation, Alex. You guys can listen to our thoughts in great detail in that episode. But I just have to give my flowers again to Severance. Not only that, I want to also shout out the Severance podcast, which is Adam Scott and Ben Stiller. And up until recently, it was still live. Like they were updating every week up until probably 2 months ago, because they're starting to do pre-production for season 3. And they brought in guests, they brought in cinematographer, brought in director of photography, they brought in all the actors and actresses talking about their favorite moments and just behind the scenes stuff that if you are going to watch Severance season 1 and season 2, listen to this podcast on the side. They do full episode breakdowns and just make you appreciate that it's not just a TV show. Like, it is the most like, oh, this is art. This is just art. Probably my favorite thing about movies is when it's really tricky and when maybe a decision is made by characters that I necessarily wouldn't agree with. And season 2 is all about that. Like, it brings a lot of really fun moments that you hate, but you love to hate, I guess, without spoiling anything. So I'm a huge fan. I will be probably a fan of this show until it dies. I'm very excited for season 3, but could not go one of these episodes without talking about it.
I love that.
Great shout out.
You know what's
I will say, I'm probably mentioned this during the pod with Alex, but I know that I'm going to be experiencing it with the pod when I rewatch it for sure. Because that sounded so cool to me, the way that you explained it, the way that like they're doing it. I thought that sounded like a lot of fun, and I think that's gonna make me enjoy this second season even more. Because for me, it was like I like the first season better personally, but I think watching it with that pod might change my mind. So I'll get back to you on that.
Yeah. Okay.
I just wanted to tell you, Matt, that today I told one of my coworkers, my other coworkers, I was like, I never told you that I finished Severance season 2, did I? And he's like, no, you didn't. I was like, well, I did. And then we had like a short conversation about it. And that was literally today.
What was the short
that
conversation?
happened.
How did that go?
It was, I mean, do you want to replay?
Is it spoiler heavy?
Is that what I said?
Well, it was short. So.
It was short. It was kind of like, oh, I knew that blank was going to happen because of course blank. And then he said, I've been thinking, that ending really made me think about things for a long time. And I was like, oh, wow, really? And then that was pretty much the short conversation.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
He didn't say what he was thinking
Yas.
about. He just was like, I thought a long time about it.
Well, no, we did not get into the philosophical debate that I wanted to, mostly because we were kind of under a deadline with something else. So we diverted the conversation quite
work
quickly.
to be done.
For another day,
Yeah.
for another day.
Yeah, we were refining. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we really had to get that
Refining
refining.
that macro data.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so Yasser, please, I'm so excited to hear what your second most recommended experiences for this year.
Okay. So my next two really aren't ranked at this point, because they're not really like
Oh.
defined like media experiences like a TV show is, for example. I think
genre.
it's closer.
He's pulling
It's
up
closer
his-
to like what Alex was saying with how he described his experience with the play of The Cursed Child, where like at least in my mind, some of that experience is just like you going there, you experiencing it, you being with someone and like being able to chat about it and everything. I think that in a lot of ways is part of the experience that you might not have with a TV show or something like that. But for me, the one that I'm putting at number 2 here is when I did a bike tour in Italy, because I was going to Italy for a family wedding, and I thought, what better way to experience Italy for the first time in my life than to do a little bike tour? And it's something that I mentioned, I think, last year, was I wanted to get more into like biking events because I really enjoyed the Seattle Portland event the previous year. So I wanted to like find an event each year to kind of like sneak that in. And so this year it was the Italy bike tour, and I thought that was my favorite part of the entire trip. Like, no offense to
Yeah,
the
no,
wedding, that
the
was
wedding,
amazing.
boo.
Oh, yeah.
And seeing family was incredible. But honestly, like I thought this was my favorite part because of the fact that like I got to explore Italy in like a very different way, or like just explore a new country in a very
Love
different
it.
way.
Yes.
where I
That's
got
cool.
to like bike around and get to meet locals that way and get to like experience the way that they live their day-to-day lives. And so it was a lot of fun. And so I really enjoyed it, and that's why I'm putting it in my top 2.
I love it.
I
It's
also
also
picked this
quite
one
healthy.
because yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's not for everybody. I can definitely understand. Some people, when they're on vacation, they just want to be able to relax. But I enjoy being able to do something a little bit more active when I'm on vacation. So it was a lot of fun in that respect too. But another reason why I put this in number 2 is because
Honestly,
it
I'm
probably won't have too much discussion.
Oh,
mm,
okay.
well,
No, but
like
it does look like Matt has a question, so go
I
for it.
actually want you to do White Lotus season 2. To
You know,
like,
I
I was
was
gonna
thinking
because
about
you were
that
ask.
there
because
on a bike
yeah,
tour, like it's gonna be perfect.
yeah. Well, yeah, when Tiffany mentioned that it was in Italy, it's like, oh wait, hold on. I might need to watch this ASAP because like I got to experience Italy for the first time this year, and I want that to be pretty fresh when I watch that show. So I'm gonna try to make it by the end of this month or early January.
Matt, were they on bikes at any time in White Lotus season 2? Do you recall?
You know, it's been a while, so I don't know, but
Oh,
probably I would
okay.
say so. I
I have
Maybe
definitely
a
remember them in a
Vespas.
car at some point.
Okay.
I have a separate question. Are there
Mhm.
like specific locales in Italy that they were at that come to mind or you remember, or is that like kind of vague for the show?
I know they went to specific places because they were like one of the storylines was going to a village in Italy where someone's family grew up. And like that was their big thing was
Yes.
to
Oh,
make
okay.
it back to that
Yes.
village. So I know that they've gone to different
I
places.
see.
I just can't remember for the life of me any of those places. It's been a while.
You know
That's
what
fair.
it is actually? I think one of the characters' grandmothers was Sicilian. So like
Oh.
is
Ooh,
Sicily
yep.
were you near
That rings a bell.
Sicily,
Yeah.
Yasser?
Actually, no, I wasn't in Sicily. So that is a bit of a bummer that I can't make that internal connection. But at the
Okay.
same time, it'll be cool to experience part of Italy I hadn't got to see through the show.
Yeah, I think that, but like I can't recall if the hotel was also in Sicily, but like yeah, I remember Sicily being mentioned for one of those characters, Matt.
hmm
Yeah. Okay, so wow, that's wonderful. Now, oh my god, now we're going to the top, our number 1 recommended experience, non-gaming, non-movie of 2025. And I think I'm gonna kick this one off because my most recommended experience is semi-related to a previously mentioned experience. And so I wanted to recommend to everyone to go see a live performance, whether it is on stage or it is a musical concert. That is my.
Oh, now
I
this
wanted
is
to
the genre
generalize
that
it.
we're talking about. Look at, see, Matt,
Yeah.
where's the criticism that you give me
JRPGs,
about
baby.
genres?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Alex is like getting a little salty. Listeners, go back a couple years and hear one of our recommended experience episodes. You might get more background on that. But I wanted to generalize it.
It was
For
it was not
everyone.
only hold on. The thing about Alex's thing though was that his number 2 experience was JRPGs and his number 1 experience was a JRPG.
One stood
Oh,
above the
man.
rest. It had to be done.
Oh my god. Okay.
It was a good year
So,
for JRPGs though, in fairness.
um So basically, I looked back at my 2025, you guys, and I saw 3 stage performances and 3 live concerts.
Wow, busy
And
year.
so, yeah, I'm gonna just run this down. I also would like to say that if live performances can be quite taxing on the budget. So honestly, I would even recommend people do fan cams on YouTube. Like, if you can't get out there, like, someone has probably recorded the entire thing and posted it online. And I would even say, like, go look at that. Like, seeing these performances live is so different than listening to the album recording. You know what I mean? Okay,
Sure.
so these are the things that I did this year. For stage performances in the springtime, I saw Sailor Moon live. It was basically the Japanese Sailor Moon stage show that was touring across the United States. And I saw that. It was a delight, you guys. It was basically, women belting out Sailor Moon songs and fighting,
Belting
fighting.
out.
Yeah, and then fighting. What is it? I can't. Oh my god, a fake fan. It's like serving justice and loving by moonlight or whatever. And it was really fun. So I enjoyed that. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and then I also saw another play called Hadestown, which is also on Broadway. That was touring, and so I saw that. That one was a little bit outside my wheelhouse. I thought it would be more in my wheelhouse, you guys. Because the story of Hadestown is about Orpheus and Eurydice, and I'm quite familiar with that Greek mythology based on history and Hades and Hades 2. And so this was interesting. I do recommend seeing it though if you're interested in Greek mythology. It's pretty good. And then for concerts, I saw Dua Lipa, and in concert, which was phenomenal. She's great live, honestly. And I saw 2 K-pop concerts, one being a giant medley of a bunch of different K-pop artists coming together to sing based on their label. It was called SM Town. It was phenomenal. I loved it so much. And then I traveled and saw my favorite K-pop group of all time live, named Super Junior. And they are my number 1 artist on Spotify Rap this year, mostly because I think I was hyping myself up for the concert, and so I was listening to them. And then when I came back from the concert, I listened to them again. So that might be why. But this group has literally been singing their songs for 20 years, you guys. It's their 20-year anniversary. I've loved them since I was was I a teen? Yes, I was a teen.
Oh my god!
When I first discovered this group. And it was phenomenal. Guys, I loved it. Actually, no, wait. Was I a teen? I can't remember. I don't know how to do that. I probably wasn't.
Way to date
but yeah,
yourself.
Yeah. So, live performances, you guys. Do them. Watch them. See them. Get out there. Live. Live.
I cannot agree with that more. Question though for you. Were either of
Yes.
those K-pop performances after K-pop Demon Hunters released?
One was
Ooh, good
before and one
question.
was after.
Okay.
One
I
was- yeah.
recently have been exposed to the fact that K-pop groups are starting to cover K-pop Demon Hunter songs on live.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Apparently
Yes.
this happened at some K-pop award show recently. And
The
so
Mama Awards.
Thank you. I had no idea that it was called that, but I was curious if the one that you watched afterwards they did that or not, because obviously it's such a big thing, K-pop Demon Hunters this year. It even found its way in the Thanksgiving Day parade, and I was almost thinking you were going to say you went
Yes.
out there to watch that, because that would have been sick. But just curious.
Yeah. So one of the so my favorite K-pop group of all time, Super Junior, they are currently 9 members, and so one of the members did cover a K-pop Demon Hunter song.
Amazing. Which
and
one?
posted on YouTube. It was the. It wasn't. It was the. Oh my god, you guys! It was the one with the high notes.
Is that
Is
Soda
it Golden?
Pop?
It might have been
Golden?
gold. It might have been gold.
It might
No,
be
it
Golden?
I think it went
Okay.
golden. It's
Yeah.
the one where it's I'm
Okay.
going on this arm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
that
Golden.
song.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Whoa,
guys.
whoa.
Guys,
we don't want
I'm
to get
not good at
copyright
titles.
struck.
Oh, not like you could even. My voice has been. I've been losing my voice this entire episode somehow. I don't even know how this is possible, but. Yeah, Yasser, I'll send you a link to the one member singing that song. But yes, I just think that this is the most I've ever seen on, the most I've ever traveled to see a live performance this year, and the most I think live performances that I've seen in a calendar year, and so I felt like I had to highlight that this year.
Sorry, where was the furthest that you ended up traveling?
Oh. So I went to Mexico City.
You went to Mexico City.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, I went.
Did
Jeez.
you
I went
already
to
mention
so-
that? And like I didn't catch it, or
No, I don't think
That's
I
a big
did.
deal.
So okay, I saw Dua Lipa in Toronto.
Okay.
SM Town was in LA, and then Super Junior was in Mexico City.
These are
so
all like way out of the way for you. I mean, Toronto's a little bit closer, but still like, and these are all great cities to like go explore at the same time.
yes, I definitely recommend it. I was like, it was a very #blessed year. So I was like, I finally had my PTO. You know what I mean? Like I was like,
Yeah.
okay, this is
finally
like I'm
accumulated
doing
enough.
yeah, I finally accumulated enough, and I was able to like get out there. And you know what? I had some really good street tacos in Mexico City, and it was a great time. I also have to say that for some reason, or not that some reason, but Super Junior did not go to any Europe locations or any like it did not come to Canada or the United States. And so they did a lot of South American and Latin American countries because they are quite popular in those places. And they even have Spanish songs. They have 0 English songs, but they literally have songs that they sing in Spanish. And so by going to Mexico City, I was able to hear the Spanish songs live, which if obviously they had concerts in Korea and like in Japan. If you went to those concerts, you wouldn't have heard the Spanish songs live. And to be honest, I love like 2 of their Spanish songs to death. Like might be one of my top 10 songs of theirs, out of their like 300 songs or whatever. And so I really enjoyed that. That was really cool. Also the fact that like you guys, the community for K-pop is quite I would say like they're really friendly. And so like when I went to the Super Junior concert, people were literally like they had made signs to hand out for us to like hold up. They like made keychains of like they were literally like I got a bunch of freebies.
Oh wow.
From other people, even though we weren't like barely communicating. My Spanish was rough, you guys, but they were just like handing things out and like, it was a great time. It was great. It was great. I can't
That all
recommend it enough.
sounds amazing. I'm very jealous. One last question for you, because I don't know if
Yes.
we've ever talked about this on a pod. But where do you typically like go for a concert? Like where do you sit? Because for me, like I can't enjoy a live concert unless I'm like very close to the stage in the general admission spot. I don't want to be like in the back in the bleachers. But I'm curious what y'all's
Oh my God.
thoughts are on that. Like when you go to concerts.
So I'm an old lady and I'm not going to be in a mosh pit and standing, you guys. Like the idea of being able to potentially touch their hands by like reaching up does entice me. I'm very short though, so that's not that realistic. And then I cannot imagine standing, Yasser. I can't. Not for like 3 hours. Oh my God, no. Oh, I guess okay, you're not wrong. But when I'm like surrounded
Checkmate.
by people, like
Yeah.
all up on you, just trying to like get as close as possible to the artist, I cannot.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
will never be in the general admission area. Okay, like that is not where I am. I like to be at the front of like
The seated
the
section.
sitting.
Yeah.
Yes. On the first tier.
Yes.
Not the tiers above. I want to be first in the seated section. And
That's fair.
as a one last thing, I can't believe I forgot to mention, another big thing that happens at K-pop concerts is that people have light signs or light sticks.
Mhm.
So every group has like an official light stick. You have an official color, and you basically like, because the concert hall is dark and the stage is lit up, you like wave the light stick around, and then they can see a wave of their color, right? Like it's just like
Yeah.
Super Junior's color is blue. So blue is all over the place. I had my friend, I challenged her to make a light board that had Korean wording on it, saying like essentially saying SJ is the best. SJ being, Super Junior. And we managed to get on the fan cam
Hell
of
yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's
when
sick.
they were like painting the audience and like showcasing fans with like, you know, shirts or lights or something, like, you know, they like pay into them and show them. This was in the like right before the encore, I think, portion, but basically we got on the screen holding our light boards, and I like
Amazing.
freaked out. Yeah, it was great. I was like, oh my god. I was like, maybe the boys saw us. They saw us. Maybe. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's enough. I feel like I just released all my energy just talking about it. I'm so excited. Matt, what you got for us for number 2? Or no, number 1. I'm like delirious right now.
Yeah.
Guys.
Number 1. My recommended experience is to go to as many live experiences as well. It's funny that
Wait,
you
really?
did that.
Are you for
just
real?
Stole my. No, of course not.
Oh
Listen,
God,
I'm not
Matt,
doing that
come
sort
on.
of thing.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You
Way to
kidding me?
gaslighter.
No,
Yeah.
well, it kind of, is related. It is kind of related because this is a live experience. We've also already talked about this, so this is no surprise. But honestly, the highlight of my year was going to the Virginia Film Festival this year.
Oh,
Yasser,
nice.
myself,
Hell
and
yeah.
Maddie went, and it was fantastic. It was something
can I stop you
where
for a
the
second,
energy in the air. Yeah.
I'm gonna just say that this is also my top experience, or like what I put for
Let's
my number
go.
1. So we can just talk about it
Nice.
together. Let's just
the
chat.
wombo combo.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
The
But like
wombo
with Tiffany
combo.
and Alex this time because we already did chat about it personally.
No, I want to hear
We
it.
did.
Talk about it again.
It is just the energy of being in a place where everybody is there for the same thing. I
Yes.
just loved
Just
it.
like a
It did
concert.
feel
Yeah.
like a concert over a weekend. Yeah. The movies that we saw were great, but like the really fun part was the debriefing that we did afterwards. It was like your favorite part about watching a Marvel movie, and then you have like that little circle where you guys
Yes.
talk about it, But it was that
Yes.
all weekend. It was,
Right.
we were waiting
love
for our
that.
seats, and we're just talking about the movies up to this point. It was a great experience. It's one of those things where I can see myself going to film festivals like for the rest of my life. Like it was just so much fun. Loved it.
Yeah, this was something that like I reached out to Matt. I don't remember when I reached out. Maybe it was like earlier on in the year, but I was like, dude, we need to find a film festival to go to. And so we thought about a few different options before we ended up saying like, hey, this is probably like one of the easier ones we can do like schedule wise. And I felt like it was the perfect intro into film festivals. I think you kind of
Yeah.
like shared that sentiment too, right? Like it was nice to just be able to do it with low pressure. You didn't have to like travel to some place that you've never been before. And it was a great experience. Like Matt said, like it was fun because like not every theater that you go to when you go to a movie where you just know that everyone's locked in. Like there's
Yeah. Yes.
some experiences where like
Committed.
there's reasons why some people don't like theaters because people might be on their phone or they might be talking, etc. You definitely did not have to worry about that at this film festival because everyone was locked in. And when like a super emotional scene would happen, like literally everybody around me would be crying. So it's you know that people are locked in. And it was just a super fun experience. I think theater going is already a lot of fun, but having it be part of the film festival, I thought it just made it like it took it to another level. And being able to talk through it with you and Maddie, I thought was a lot of fun as well. And having inside jokes about Del Toro, it'll never get old.
And
I
now
love
he's
that.
potentially the worst director of our time. It's crazy. It's crazy the takes that you hear at the film festival. Yeah, like the cool part about it was, like the theaters that I have locally aren't the best. They are not the best experience. But being able to spend a weekend in a place where just like opulent theaters with really just great venues, and it's filled to the brim. Like there's no open seats anywhere for any of the showings that we watched. Even the one that was like super indie that honestly The Plague has gotten so much buzz. Like, there's so many people online that are like jived to watch it because it comes out limited release towards the end of the year, and then it comes out in January. And how many people have been talking about like, oh, I can't wait to see this, and like we watched it, almost 2 months ago now. But even that one, it was small. No one really knew anything about it. There was no trailer for it, and it was still pretty full. Like, it was just an experience that I haven't experienced ever. Just really, really enjoyed it. So I definitely want to kind of try on different festivals, but having one so close to home was really nice because I could definitely see myself coming back next year.
That's cool. So when you got tickets, did you just do the old-fashioned way where you got in line and you got the seats you want based on where you are in line, or did you guys select seats for your tickets?
Yeah, so we were able to pick which movies we wanted to go to, where it was like a la carte as far as the movie tickets themselves. And that was cool because we were able to like kind of schedule our days that way. But to answer your question, it was kind of like first come, first serve for the seats. And so
Okay.
early on, we were, at least I was kind of worried about like, how is that going to work? Like, are we going to be able to get good seats? Are we going to be like in the back because people are taking this so seriously? But that's kind of what I meant about like this was a great intro festival because it was very chill, I thought. Where we didn't have to be there like an hour early to get good seats, where that might happen. I don't know, but it might happen in like Sundance or Toronto, etc. Just because of like how like well known those film festivals are, and like people travel from everywhere to go to it, and so it might be super intense. Whereas this seemed like it was a little bit more chill. Do you agree with that, Matt?
Yeah, very chill. Like, I think that some people were lined up at the get-go to like go get their spot, but it was overall like super relaxed, and everybody was really nice. All the workers were really nice, all the film goers were really nice, and so it was kind of a best of every world. It was like perfect fall weather. You didn't really rush to get into the theater because there wasn't like, oh, if we don't go now, we're going to be stuck in the nosebleeds, or like stuck right in the beginning of the theater. Like, we always were able to find 3 seats together, which is really nice.
Love it. I wanted to wait to listen to your episode until I watched Frankenstein. And I did watch it, so I need to go back and like listen to the whole episode of you guys talking about the film festival. I'm pretty excited about that.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited to hear your thoughts too. We'll have to chat about that sometime.
Yeah. Okay, Alex.
Well, the next film festival they have to go to is just the Cannes Film Festival, right? That's just the next step up from Virginia, right?
What's the
what is that?
Cannes Film Festival?
Oh, Cannes. Okay, yeah. Where is that in France though? That's like in France.
Oh, Cannes.
Yeah.
Bro, I was so confused too. I'm I call it cans because like I'm a dumb American, but I understand what you're saying now.
Wouldn't the next step up be Sundance and then Toronto and then Cannes?
No, they just have to go to Europe. They just
got to go all in.
Immediate jump. Yeah.
Just got to go all in. Honestly, one that is on my list that I definitely want to check out is Telluride, because it happens in September, which is a good time for me to get away. But it's also in Colorado. It's like definitely like mountain town vibes to it, where people are like dressed in just like flannels and jeans. Like things like some of the European film festivals are all like suit and tie, like people are wearing gowns all day. And that's just less of my vibe. Like I loved how just nonchalant everybody was at the Virginia Film Festival, and that's kind of what I long for with some of these things.
Okay.
But
and
don't you want a good excuse to wear a bow tie, Matt? That's the perfect reason to.
That is true. That's a good point.
Got him.
Okay, Alex, let's hear your number one experience.
All right, so sticking with everyone's top most recommended experience of the year, of course, mine's also going to be about the collective social experience this invites.
Okay.
and that is. And just to clarify, right, this is obviously non-gaming, but when we say non-gaming, we really mean video games here. So for
Mhm.
me, my top experience is a card game, and that is
Oh,
the newly released League of Legends trading card game, Riftbound.
wow. Wait, have we talked about this
okay.
before?
So we have not
Nice.
talked about this before on the
Okay.
podcast. This card game released on Halloween, October 31st.
Okay.
So just mere weeks ago. And, launch issues aside, because obviously it's I think Riot and their card producing partner were not necessarily anticipating the demand for this product because it's a brand new card game. So it was hard to find product, whether it was any of the learn to play releases, so like the starter decks or the Proving Grounds kind of board game set, or even just booster packs in general, right? Like there was just low product availability across the country. So besides that, I just want to say I want to recommend Riftbound as a card game. And yes, this is a card game, things like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Magic, but it doesn't play like one per se. And this is really the main reason why I recommend this so highly, is that it's a card game in design, right? Like you build a deck, right? You pick and choose which cards you want to put in it, but the way it plays more like a board game. So you're not necessarily,
Really?
playing cards and smacking people in the face, right? There's no life points, there's no totals, right? You're not necessarily like, oh, the first one to die is the first one to lose, right? You're playing it like a board game where there are locations between you and your opponent, and you're essentially moving the cards you play from your base to these locations in order to conquer them and hold them. And so it's a point-based game where you're racing to get 8 points. Every time you conquer or hold a location, you gain a point. And so it's very simple, right? The numbers are very low. You're at most, maybe you're looking at things like 15, 16 as a number you might see in the game, but typically everything's in single digits. So it's very kind of low math as well. You don't necessarily need to do long division or multiplication or anything to kind of understand the interactions of it. And so for me, right, getting into it, getting product, and then more importantly, right, going to local game stores, playing with people in the community. Even more so recently, Tiffany and I went to PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia, where we
Shout out.
participated in a Riftbound event there as well.
Oh,
And kind of
really?
meeting people there from all parts of the country, kind of coming here to try, sad as it may be, to just get product like the cards at suggested resale price, so they weren't necessarily getting scalped like they were at maybe their local stores. But kind of having all of these local experiences with the game and playing with people, and just kind of getting the idea of like, right, these are some, like, actually I've met more people playing this game that don't have any connection to League of Legends, the game, like the video game, at all. And so these are
Interesting.
people coming into it just from hey, it's a new game that's out, or hey, I'm a card game player of this other variety. Let me check this out. And so I think that really goes to show the power of it, to say it's not just the IP that the game is based on, but it's also mechanically, like, this is something that interests people, right? Especially if you're already in the card game field. And so for me, I really recommend it. It plays differently than any other card game. Like I say, it plays like a board game, which is kind of the biggest draw, right? You're not necessarily just playing another version of Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone or something. And so because of that, I think it's a nice take, and once they get product availability issues sorted out, I'm assuming you're going to be able to find this in your local Walmart, your Targets, your Best Buys, or more importantly, go to your local card game shops. Like, you probably have one near you never checked out, or even one in a local mall that's nearby, and you'll be able to find people to play with, if you don't necessarily have any personal friends. And it seems like, right, as most card games are typically, it's a very welcoming community, right? Like, these are people that are coming to these local card shops, even on weeknights, it could be like a crisp Monday evening, Tuesday evening, but they're just here to play a few rounds of this game and have a good time while doing it. And on the plus side, maybe you can win some promo packs or something, get a nice rare card or two. But besides that, I recommend this as a card game. This is fresh off the presses. We're still in set 1. Set 2 is going to release in February. So obviously I understand if you're afraid of card games because of the release cadence. If you're not necessarily playing it too seriously, you don't necessarily have to worry about how often they release new cards, but you can at least continue to play the game with what you can find and enjoy it that way. And more importantly, it's not just designed around 1v1, but it is designed as a 4-player game. So you and 3 other friends can play together, right? Just like how other card games have multiplayer formats. Like this was designed from the get-go to play with up to 4 people. And so they have multiplayer in mind. It's meant to bring people together. And honestly, it's just a fun game. And more importantly, the card art is very nice and very good quality. So I think they did put a lot of effort into the actual production side of it. So there's things to look forward to on that collector side as well, if that interests you.
That's really cool. Honestly, go ahead, Tiffany. What's the end?
Well, I was going to say, and you can see that card art when you look at some of our unboxing videos that are on our YouTube channel.
Great
shout out.
That
was my plug. Okay, go to you, to Yasser.
Honestly, this all sounds really interesting. I probably have too many questions because I don't want this to be like a huge conversation where I'm going to be asking like you 20 questions about this. But a couple questions that come to mind is, one, is the art style kind of based on the show Arcane? Because it kind of looks similar to me, even though I haven't watched the show yet. Just like what I've seen of them, or is it a distinct and slightly different art style?
So a combination. They've taken a lot of art from their digital card game that already exists called Legends of Runeterra. So there's a lot of card art taken from that card game that they had commissioned for that digitally, as well as a lot of the art is actually from the League video game itself. So a lot of the art, like splash art for character designs, are straight from that game. So it's a combination of reused assets from those games and newly commissioned art assets. So as far as I know, they don't have anyone from Fortiche in particular who was the art studio that helped produce Arcane. But I imagine a lot of the card art probably does evoke feelings of those scenes, right? And I could see in the future that they do release cards more honoring that. In particular, when the game launched, they did come out with what they call an Arcane themed collector set. So it was a set of 6 cards or maybe those are the cards you've looked up if you have been looking them up.
Yeah, maybe that's right.
That directly do reference Arcane. But yes, that was a special collector set meant for those 6 cards. But besides that, the main sets don't have any, I guess, overt references. But maybe the art inspiration is there.
Okay, and last question that I'll give until I'll make way for Matt. What's been your experience with the card game? Like, do you have close friends that ended up like liking it too, and you guys play a lot together, or has it been the latter where you've met a lot of new people playing this game and you've gone to like card game nights and met people that way?
I guess it's more so been the latter for me because I think out of my friend group, I'm kind of the biggest like card game enthusiast, like by far, right? Like I'm someone that is more of a card game tourist, I like to call it, where I like check out everything. Like I've looked at Gundam, TCG, I've looked at the One Piece card game, I've looked at Battle Spirit Saga, like things that you might have never even heard of, Flesh and Blood. So I really enjoy just the variety that exists out there. And so for me, I'm kind of like, well, I'm the biggest into this and I'm not necessarily trying to get other people into it per se.
Sure.
But having gone to these local card shops and really just meeting people, especially just playing games, but more so also just being able to trade, right? Like I was able to find cards, but I'm also of the collector mindset. So I have tried to get one of every card of the first set and I have done so. Minus like the super rare like special cards, but I do have one of every card in the base set, which I believe is 298 cards. So I have one of every
Wow.
1 through 298. But a lot of that was in part due to meeting people at these local nights and just trading, right? Like things that I have and trading for things that they want. And so being able to kind of get that rapport right between us and being like, yeah, I'll take if, I'm willing to trade this for like these two things. And they're like, sure, that's no problem. And vice versa. And so, yeah, being able to forge a lot of new connections with these people that frequent these shops, right? Because it's obviously these are shops too that I've been to before, but I've not necessarily played at like local game nights at.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, oh, maybe these were like two ships passing in the night type scenario where it's like, oh, we've been at the card shop at different times, but we haven't necessarily played. And now it's like, oh, now we're sitting down and playing a match together. It's like, oh yeah, we're like, this is like, I'm having a good time. Like I've yet to play someone that I haven't had a like at least okay time with, right? Like everyone's been a positive experience.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome.
I feel like League of Legends, or I guess maybe Riot Games, more or less, they keep doing all these spin-offs. Like they have different games, they have arcade series, now they have a card game. Do you think that this is your favorite spin-off from League of Legends?
Oh man. I mean, honestly, it probably is.
Okay, wow.
Because I think it is the
Wow.
melding of the IP and the card games. Because, right, like, I'm also someone that, I always envision what can be, right? Like, when you think about when Arcane was releasing, they did at the time, there weren't any characters, at least any of the new characters in Arcane weren't in League of Legends proper. And with the ending of Arcane, they released Mel. So Mel was the first character they brought from the Arcane series, and she appeared as a champion in the game. And then subsequent to that, they added Mbessa, right, Mel's mother, into the game as well. And so those were kind of two Arcane-inspired champions, made for that series that then got imported into League. And so for me, it's kind of the vice versa with this, where it's like, okay, now we have a card game. And obviously, they're going to be bringing all of the League characters, like from the video game, right, into this card game. And so part of my enjoyment is just thinking, when they add this character from the game into the card game, like, what could they be? Like, what is their ability? Like, what's their niche? And just even that imagination aspect, like, gets me excited. And then seeing some of the things come to life, right? So one of the new champions that is eventually coming in set 2, his name is Azir. He's inspired by Egyptian mythology. He looks like Horus, the like bird god, right, in Egyptian mythology. But he in League of Legends lore, he's an emperor, like he's a royalty, and he has, right, an army of soldiers that he commands to do his bidding. He doesn't necessarily like fight himself. And coming in set 2, lo and behold, his ability in the game is literally making those soldiers to then fight for him. And so kind of like seeing that natural translation of like in the game, like mechanics to card game mechanics is also just fun to see, and being like, oh, this makes sense. Like if I was designing a card based on this character, what would it do? And they're doing a great job and kind of giving that one-to-one kind of translation of saying, I'm still getting the similar like power fantasy when I play the game or a character in the game as the card as well. And so I think the card game has exceeded more than any of their other adaptations for me in terms of satisfaction.
I love it.
So I went to a couple of the card nights with Alex to like basically play alongside him. And when you go and play at some of these card nights, they're like, oh, if you participate, you can get a promo card. So essentially, I was going to give Alex another shot at getting a specific promo card he wanted, because it's sort of like a mystery pack that they hand you. Anyway, I have not put in any monetary investment in this game. Alex has done the full part in that, but he lets me play with his cards. So Alex loves deck building, so essentially he builds the deck and he asks me what type of cards I want to play, and I say that, and then I tell him which champions I enjoy, and so he builds a deck for me and I play with that deck. And let me tell you guys, I don't do very hot in these tournaments, okay? However, every person I played against will like the time limit max is like either 50 minutes or 30 minutes depending on the type of, if it's best of 3 or whatever, best of 1. And I will finish my best of 3 match in like half an hour, and we basically have 20 minutes to kill. Every person that I've conversed with, super chill. No one's like being sweaty or like mean. I was literally the only girl playing at both of the card nights I went to with Alex, but every dude was super chill and nice, and I even like helped Alex get some trades because I was talking to them and I saw their trade binder. And I was like, my brother's looking for that card. Like, Kent, like, are you willing to trade? He's like, yeah, I'm down to trade. And so, like, I'll, like, after our matches or whatever, I'm like, Alex, come over here. Like, this guy's willing to trade and he has what you need. So, like, it was honestly a very fun time. Even though I lost, like, essentially the entire time. Actually, no, that's a lie. I won once. I won against one guy once out of the like 8 matches. You know what I mean? But yeah, overall,
did you tell that guy
time.
that you beat? You're like, I've never won before. Thanks.
Honestly, I might have mentioned like, this is my first win.
You probably like immediately wanted to leave.
And I'm not gonna lie, you guys.
On the way
No,
out.
there was also a caveat though, because literally I was about to like forfeit, and Alex happened to be like kind of nearby, and he literally was like, he doesn't win his next turn, or he doesn't win. Like, you need to do these things to win. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
You're like about to
let's
give
keep
up.
playing. Yeah, I was about to give up, and then I literally won. I won next.
That's so funny.
So, yeah, and he basically was like, you need to learn the rules. And I'm like, I thought I knew the rules. Yeah, it's fun, honestly, surprisingly.
Amazing.
Okay, you guys. Wow, what a life we've all had this year. Like,
Honestly, this is why we had
it's
to
been
split
great.
it up. It took us an hour and
Yes.
40 minutes just to get through these 3.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Okay, cool. I love it. We had a great talk. Everyone,
Great talk.
please like and subscribe. We have some, banger episodes coming for you. If you're interested in our top 3 movies, look forward to that. If you're interested in our top 3 video games, definitely look forward to that. We'd like to thank Grandmaster Doug for the tunes, and hope everyone has a great 2025 end.